All right. Okay, so that's one of them. And from the other side, it's 4 squared plus L, or an angle anyway, which is going to look like... Nope. Wrong. Okay, that's not going to work because there's only 4 vertically and not... If I do this one, it should work. Because then you have 4 across and then that corner. Oof. Why you do this? Okay. So that's 2 discontinuous and 1 T block. And then this goes up 4. Okay. Alright, so we need to put 6 here. But we also need to attach an L in some orientation. Which I think is that. No, it's not big enough. Hmm. Okay. So it can't be just like that, because we have to stick that guy on it somehow. That's the wrong rotation, so it can't be that one. All other ones are blocked off. If we do this, we may have to... Nope. Well... What? Oh, I can do it like this. Okay, so if I try and fit those 2 L blocks together, I have to do them in 2 rows. That's 4 long. Do I have any kind of space that's big enough for that? I'm not sure I do. Oh, is that it? Okay, 2 by 3, and then 2, yeah. All right. Wow. Weird. That's not going to make a lot of sense. Nope. What? Okay, this guy is way too abstract. I mean, like, if that guy and that guy are in the same shape, then it's just a 2x3 solid block. But they ain't. Hmm. Alright, middle block cannot do that with it. Can do this with it. No. Then. Ooh. Okay, that's not going to work. Hmm. Um. Is that an appropriate shape? So that gives me the L block. Oh, it's got too many to fit in the. Okay, that fits the L block. Has one too many for that. Okay. It's like, and then like that. Okay, so that has the L block in the lower right corner, then the two sporadic ones interleaved on the left, and then on its own. Ooh. Wow. Going deep with these. Scary in the dark. Alright, so this is telling me. What? Okay, how did that work? Is that like 3 minus 1? Yeah, and then 4 minus 2. And then 4 minus 1. Ooh. And then 16 minus 2. Ooh. Ooh, that's terrible. Okay, obviously no. Oh. Okay. So we make the whole shape -1. Alright, what do we just change? I don't know. Okay. So any of these other ones gonna drain yet? Not yet. Is the power from this going anywhere important? Oh. Alright. Yeah. I'm gonna get at least one laser thing today. Is this spilling on the ground? Wow. Yep, dripping. Excuse me. Four. No, that doesn't work because, yeah. 4. Actually has to include the pieces. Okay. Four -1. Okay. 4 across. 4 up. -2. No? 4 across. Because it's -2 many. Do I have to use all the minuses? What I have to do to get this shape anyway. Okay, so 4 across, 3 up, and 4 up. That's 2? No. Ah. That's 4 and 4. It still only needs 1. I need to eat 1 more. No? It wasn't the first way I tried, is it? No. Okay, so there's my first question. Do I have to use all of them? Apparently. Oh. Yeah, I shouldn't have to worry about that. Okay, so it gets me that, but it doesn't give me that. Of course. I make it eat 2 of them. No. Okay, so that eats 4, no problem. Oh. I think that might be it, though. Okay. So this is 4 and 4 minus 1. But if I start late, then it's 4 and 4 minus 2. Okay. There's that shape. Okay. This is not enough. That's not good anyway. So if I were to overlay this on top of that, I wouldn't need, or I would need 2 subtractions. I only get 1. So since I only get 1, that and this cannot overlap that way. But if they overlap a different way, not like that. It doesn't include the guy. Gotta include the guy. That clears. That's too many. Okay, so we need. The 4 should be at the bottom. And then we can do this on top, which has 2 extra spaces. So that's not going to work. No. No, that's not good, of course. Alright, so. Oh. Okay, so I can either treat this as a 3, or I can treat this as an L. And if I treat it as an L, that's pretty straightforward. More than that. Nope. Okay, then it's not that straightforward. It's this L, but it doesn't include it. It has to include it, but it's this L. That would not work. That doesn't include the... There we go. Okay. Oh, it's just the whole board, isn't it? No? This, and then that combine, and that combines, and then I have 4 more, so fill in the whole bottom half, and then I can put in 1 segment there, and that 1, and I need to remove 3 more. I'm not sure that... Okay, so that's... Let's say it's 2, or it's the whole L block in the upper right corner. And then taking out 2 of each, it's 2 on the bottom row. Adding. Oh boy. Alright, so checkerboard pattern to which we can overlay a T block, which we're going to treat as ooh, that's just ugly. Okay, so so obviously the best place to put that is going to be in the middle where it fills in some of the space. Yeah. And then delete 1 square, 2 squares. Okay, so this is checkerboard covering all the spaces in the original except the bottom right. And then T square covering all the spaces with a second removal there. Okay. Ooh. Right, this is another functional change, isn't it? Alright. We'll turn it the other direction. It just moves that back. If by some chance I needed it to. Which I don't think I do. Okay. What? Is it just going to slide back on its own? Back and forth? Alright. I've been down here. No, I haven't. Oh boy. Huh. More of these messes. I don't think that's quite how that's going to work. Alright, so that's... But it is telling me that these squares connect as... So this should be that shape. We delete one of them, and we delete this error, and it's correct, I think. Oh, now they're connected. Oh no. Alright, let's do this. No. It's not going to work because they're... Okay, so at least that side suggests that I have the principles right. No. Not gonna work like that. How do we do that? I remember I did that now. Yeah. Just like that. Okay, and then to get this like that. That's not going to work that way. Doesn't need to. Can I do this? Actually, just give me that. What does that do? I have square 4. That's way too many. All right. Square 4 and a corner block and forgiveness of 4. So forgetting 2 makes the square block just a 2 Okay, so 7 as far as 3. I'm not taking up just 3 spaces at any point here. Okay, so if I do this, and the square and the corner are next to each other, then there's the two in the upper left, and then 2 individual squares. No? Okay. Did I just... No, how did I do that wrong then? Oh. Because it's not just... Okay, so 4, which means 2. See, that's messed up. That is just messed up. So that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Well, that does work. This one does. That one works too. Huh. So I'm put inside a shape that cancels itself out. Nope. Alright, but we determined... Did we determine that that's the... Okay, so this whole construct is correct. That is to say, it's got an L shape, a forgiveness and 2 forgivenesses. And then to fit this one in here, or to connect it to the pattern in a way, it's going to take work, or at least doing this. Okay, so I justify that by saying square block 2 with the removal. That's too many squares. Not right. Okay, so I put this in here. The whole thing fails. Really? Why does the whole thing fail? It's a good question. If it's just the same as before, but we just added... What? What? Okay, I did that and I don't know how I did it. How does that work? Obviously that's that. And a square with two shapes and one. Does that just block off the rest then? I don't know how this one works. I know how that one worked. Oh, okay. So all four of these cancel out that guy. That's how that works. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so that cancels out and makes that, theoretically. That's too many. Let's do 7 positive blocks and 7 negative blocks. If I can just not separate them, or if I can separate them correctly, evenly, then we'd be good. 2 plus 3. There we go. Ooh. Deeper in.